So welcome back. We will, as you can see, we're at Chango Dock, which is where I said I was. We'll just double check that we are up on fuel. We are indeed. You can see I've bought the Cobra Mark III now, and that is all thanks.
In progress.
That is all. That was just BPC telling me that, because what it does is that obviously anybody who has the BPC software on their computer, every time you open the market, it pulls all of the commodity prices and uploads them to the backend's database, and then that is shared out amongst all the users to keep the prices as up to date as possible. So anyway, we are taking fish out of Ibutus. Get the maximum amount of fish that we can. Submit that. Exit, exit, and launch. So, like I was saying, yeah, funded the Cobra Mark III thanks to the BPC calculator, just doing small trade runs of 1 and 2 jumps. And that has allowed me to buy the Cobra Mark III. Oh, nearly crashed there. I think fairly quickly as well. I mean, I don't play a huge amount. Like, I don't play every single... Well, I do play almost every single day. But I don't play for long. Like, it's less than an hour per day. And I've managed to buy a Cobra Mark III, what I feel like, fairly quickly. So we are going, if we just check the BPC, we are going from Ibutus to Erinin. So we lock and engage, except we are mass locked, so we won't engage. You can see the Cobra Mark III has a fantastic top speed. So, first stop on our route is Erinin. We've been mass locked for some reason. I don't know who I'm mass locked by. Perhaps I'm flying... Maybe I got too close to the station when I did the flip around. That's probably likely what's happened. So yeah, I would say managed to afford the Cobra Mark III fairly quickly. Just doing little trade runs with using the BPC. As you can see, I'm already back up to 100,000 credits as well, just with a couple of extra trade runs with this thing. And I think I haven't quite decided whether I'm going to stick with the Cobra Mark III for a while and maybe give it some more advanced weaponry and systems and whatnot, or whether I'm just going to straight up upgrade to a Lakon Type 6. If you've got any ideas, let me know in the comment section below what you think would be the best idea, whether I should upgrade to the Lakon Type 6 or keep the Cobra Mark III and maybe do a little bit of exploration and maybe a little bit of fighting with my keyboard and mouse setup. So just waiting for the hyperspace to finish, and then once we land in Erinin, turn away from the star. Once we are pointed away from the star, bring up our map again, and we want to now jump to Acellus Primus, which is there on our list. If it wasn't in the list, obviously what you'll need to do is just head to your galaxy map. And then we need to find our target. Now, ships aren't very good on the turn, but they are great on the vertical, so really I should have just rolled that and then pulled it up vertical. Would have been much faster. But there you see, the amount of time we spent in Erinin was absolutely negligible. It was less than 60 seconds we were in there, and then we are making our jump to Acellus Primus. So as you can see, multiple jump trade routes aren't too bad whatsoever. It's actually flying to the dock once you're in the system that takes you the time. So once we've arrived in Acellus Primus, we want to be going to the Beagle 2 landing, lock the destination there, and then find this. And this is really, oh my god, that is far away. This is holy shit, 1,600 light seconds. So this is the part that really takes the time. And obviously with covering 1,500 light seconds, I don't know why it's telling me to slow down. Covering 1,500 light seconds, the chances of getting an interdiction are a little bit higher than it would be on a safe trade route like Chango to Owlin. and back again. But if you're in a ship like the Cobra Mark III, it is fast and it is maneuverable, and if you do get attacked, you're probably able to get out of there with your life intact. But this is really what takes the time. So you can see that, as I was saying, we spent negligible amount of time in Erinin. Just jumping. We basically jumped into the system, turned away from the star, then jumped out of the system straight away again. But obviously we're travelling at 33 times, 34 times, 35 times the speed of light here, so really, really need to keep an eye on speed here, that I don't, here we go, don't overshoot Beagle 2, because at that speed it would be very, very easy to overshoot the target. As you saw, at 35 times the speed of light, if I'd misjudged that little slowdown that I did when I reached 10% of the distance, I would have overshot that in a second or two. So yeah, really got to be careful with your slowdowns, because if you leave it too long, obviously you're not going to be able to slow down in time, and you're going to automatically overshoot the system. As it is, it looks like our speed is looking good. And we are coming in for landing at Beagle 2. Now, I know obviously I've told you everything you need to know in the very beginning part of the video, where we were taking a look at the BPC itself. So I mean, there's really not going to be that much extra information in the video itself. So if you were literally just wanting to see how to work the BPC, you can switch off the video now, or in fact a few minutes ago. All I'm doing here is just showing you how quick the run is itself, even though it is multiple jumps, and showing you in real, so basically just, yeah, in real time, showing you how long it takes, and that it's not just making up the numbers, that I am actually going to make about 33,000 credits profit for the small amount of work that I'm doing. We can actually afford to be going a little bit faster here. As you see in the bottom left hand corner there, the Beagle 2 bit. As long as we get both of those little bars within the blue at the same time, like that, we can drop out of Super Cruise with the destination lock, and that should bring us within 20 kilometers of the Beagle 2 station. We'll get in there and we'll dock as quickly as possible. We're not going to make that much profit on the fish. Just having a quick glance at my other monitor here, it says that the fish is going to sell for about 645 per unit, so it's only going to make us 9,000 profit. And if you remember, when we looked at just coming out of iBooters, we could make 13 to 14,000 credits selling a payload of fish. Unfortunately, we wouldn't have made as much coming back. Any minute now, if this thing wants to load, we can have a look there that I haven't actually used that much fuel either. So we'll get the power into the engines just to get us in there as quickly as possible. It looks like we've come at the station from the rear, so we're going to have to get all the way around the front. You can see the boost speed on the Cobra Mark III is quite extraordinary. And as soon as that drops back down, we can just hit boost again. With having the power diverted to the engines, that power recharges very, very quickly. Anybody who doesn't know, you can boost by hitting the tab key. That is the tab key. That will boost your speed significantly for a short amount of time whilst draining engine power. If you have a look there at the power systems, I've just drained almost half of the engine power there by boosting. So we will request docking.
Request granted.
And we are granted at Bay 13. So as you can see, I'm sort of strafing around the side of the station here. Let's keep an eye on how far away we are from the station. Still 3 kilometers out, so I'm on now 4 kilometers out, so I'm in no risk of crashing. We'll just hit boost to get us around a little bit faster. In fact, what I'm going to do is just do a bit of that. We'll reset our power. And here we go. We are all the way around Beagle 2 now. Come in for a landing. I try to roll as little as possible when I'm recording, and just because that can make some people motion sick. Don't worry, I don't get motion sickness myself, but I do understand that it is a thing, and people do really get sick. So we're being scanned by the police there. We're within the no fire zone, so... and we're not carrying anything illegal, so we're alright. Slow down a little bit while I bring us into line. Oops, overshot that a little bit. So yeah, I don't get motion sickness myself, but I do understand that it is a real thing, and people do get motion sickness when watching videos, especially with the camera swaying about a lot. So I try not to roll. I try to roll as little as possible whilst recording. Obviously, coming through the force fields there, I'm obviously going to roll. Has this planted me right next to the door again? It has, hasn't it? God damn it. I hate being right next to the door like this. But as you can see, I'm just using the compass to land. And there we are there. This is landing bay 13. This is ours. So yeah, it might have looked like I did that blind, but basically you just have a look at your little compass. That was a nice suggestion by Alien in the comment section, that you can use your compass to actually land your ship as well. Which is very, very useful. Oh, I'm getting called. How unprofessional of me. And there we go. So we'll enter the hangar, we'll enter Starport Services, and we will sell our cargo. And that said, BPC says I'll make about 9,000 credits for this leg of the run. Oops. Right, here we go. Sorry about that awkward cut, but there was problems. I'll explain while we are making the long jump.
Market upload in progress.
Back to iBootus. So we'll sell our fish. BPC says we should make about 9,000 credits. We shall see. Spot on. 9,200. Submit. Then we take a quick look at BPC. It tells us that the seller's primus we buy auto fabricators. Where are auto fabricators? There we go. We buy auto fabricators. 36 of them for 113,000. Holy shit. I would recommend not sinking all of your money like I am doing into a single purchase, but hey, if you can't be reckless, what can you be? And then we make our way back to iBootus via Erinin. Right, so I want to get back to... I want to get jumping as quickly as possible. Because we've sunk all of our money into this little enterprise here. We want to try and be as safe as possible, which generally means... Oh my god, what's going on? Which generally means we want to be as quick as possible. And we say we want to be as safe as possible. We basically want to get out of here as quick as possible.
Upload completed.
So we are heading back to Erinin. Lock and engage. We can't engage because of frame mass locked. There we go. Not mass locked anymore. So yeah, basically we just want to, any time that we're not in Super Cruise, we want to be travelling as quickly as possible. Just because we want to deter anybody from coming and taking our cargo that we just spent all of our money on. But again, you'll get an idea of how long we're going to be in Erinin for. It's not very long at all. And then while we're Super Cruising to iBootus, I'll explain why there was an awkward cut while I was in the hangar. A little bit of an interesting story there. But what you can do, I mean, if you did get destroyed while hauling all this cargo and you're left with just 4,000 credits, what you can do is you can always downgrade your ship. So I could sell off the Cobra Mark III and go and re-buy the hauler instead. And that would obviously be a viable way of getting some money back. Is you can sell off... Oh god, that's not going to be good. There we go. Didn't want to jump into the sun. You can obviously... I could sell the Cobra Mark III, make about 70 to 80,000 credits, I think the difference is. I think it's about 70 to 80,000 credits. And with that difference, I could start trading again. Obviously, I'd lose 20 cargo capacity because the Cobra has 20 cargo capacity over the hauler, but it's better than losing literally everything and trying to trade items with no money whatsoever, which just isn't good. Right, we go to Chango Dock, which is... Oops. I always forget that it's much, much faster to roll the ship rather than to yaw left and right. So anyway, the awkward cut in the... While I was coming into the hangar, once I got into the hangar, I tried to buy fuel and sell things, but basically nothing was happening. So it was as if I'd been disconnected from the game, but the game was still running. So obviously after a while I had to exit the game. And then when I went to relaunch it, instead of having a login or play button, I had a purchase button. So the game had actually forgotten that I'd bought the game. So I had to log back into my control panel on the Elite Dangerous website. And just confirm that I'd purchased it, clear my details out of the launcher, and then re-input my details into the launcher, and it allowed me back into the game. And then it dumped me outside of Beagle 2, but obviously I just came in for landing at Beagle 2. So the eagle-eyed among you who noticed that my landing pad number had changed, I think it did anyway, indeed it had, because obviously I had to come in and land again. And then I continued filming from there. So as you can see, the actual trade run itself, not particularly long. I mean, it's a little bit longer than, say, going from Chango to Owlin and back again. Which, I mean, was still okay. If I have a quick look now, the trip profit is about 27,000. So it's about 8,000 less. I think, is it 8? I'm not sure of the actual numbers. Maybe... 6 or 7,000 less, but it is less. And as you can see, although we did come out substantially very, very far away from Beagle 2 at 1,500 light seconds, was it? The extra jump took basically no time at all. We spent absolutely no time in Erinin whatsoever, so really that time was negligible. It was basically the 1,500 light seconds that we had to travel, which basically filled up the time. To be honest, I think I've actually spent more time in these loading screens than I spent at Erinin as a stop-off. So don't be daunted by multiple jump trade runs, unless they start getting up to the 4 and 5 jumps. Then it's just logistically keeping track of what systems you need to go to in your recent voyages panel on your left-hand side. You might have to start going to the galaxy map to get those up. So, but I mean, once you get a larger jump-capable ship like a Type 6 or a Type 9, then you're probably only going to be able to need, at maximum you're going to need to make 1 to 2 jumps anyway. So really, multiple jump trade runs aren't going to be an issue once you've got the jump distance. To be honest, I thought the Cobra Mark III would have a much longer jump distance than it does. It's only got an 8 light year jump distance. I'm guessing that's just because they have to be historically accurate. The original Cobra Mark III from Elite 1 only had a jump distance of 8 light years. So I'm guessing they're probably having to stick to that. Look at the length of this loading screen. Jesus Christ. So yeah, they probably had to stick to that. But I did think that it was going to be... Because my idea was to get a Cobra Mark III, load up with some cargo, and then have a fly around the small bubble of the galaxy that we're allowed to fly around in. And I figured it would have a decent jump range, so I'd be able to do that fairly effectively. But with an 8 light year jump range, you're fairly restricted on where you're able to go. My word, this... I'll tell you what, I'll pause it and I'll bring it back when we've actually arrived in the system. There we go, we are back, and holy crap, that was a long, long loading screen just there. It's counterclockwise rotation, which would put the door on this side. If you're looking at a station and you want to work out where the door is always on the axis of rotation, so as you can see it's turning towards me. So the door would either be on this side, or it would be on this side here. But the door always spins counterclockwise, so if you're good at spatial awareness, and you know how to work these things out by looking at them, then you can figure out where the door is pretty quickly. As you can see, axis of rotation is towards me, so that puts it on the right, my right or left hand side. And counterclockwise would be this right hand side, as you can see here. Should probably request docking if they want to accept. I'm guessing the servers are a little bit laggy at the moment because like this loading screen was really, really long, and then my docking request there just timed out. So I'm going to have to send another one. Obviously, I don't want to approach too close without docking permission. As you can see, that one timed out as well. Oh, there we go. Oops, request granted. Let's get ourselves in there before anything goes wrong, because like I said, we have a full cargo hold with basically all of our money sunk into this trading run. So if something goes wrong, we could be a little bit screwed. So we'll get in here as quickly as possible. Not too fast though, because we don't want to meet anybody head on the other side by accident. We're going to pad 44. Let's get our landing gear out so we don't go too quickly. This is pad 44. Oops, we've overshot that a little because of inertia. Here we go. Oops. There we go. So we enter the hangar, go to Starport Services. And if you were paying attention at the beginning of the video, which I wasn't, you'll remember how many credits I started with. We'll always buy fuel first, so that we remember. Head to the commodities market.
In progress.
BPC tells us there's a market upload in progress. We will sell our auto fabricators for a grand total of 27,000 profit. So to go with the 9,000 we made before, that is a grand total of 36,000 credits. And there we go, 145. We made a nice, neat little amount, and you can see by the length of this video exactly how long that took. So like I said, do not be daunted by multiple jump trading runs. Get yourself Slopeys BPC. It is the greatest third-party tool you can have for Elite Dangerous right now. It will make you a 100,000 air in no time whatsoever. In fact, we can afford a Type 6 transporter right now. But we wouldn't really have enough credits because it has 100 cargo capacity, but we wouldn't have enough credits to be able to effectively use that cargo hold with the credits that we'd have left over. Of course, with the BPC program, you can tell it how many credits you've got, so it knows exactly what you should and shouldn't buy to make the maximum amount of profit. So, thanks very much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because there's going to be a lot more Elite Dangerous content coming over the next few days, weeks, and months going forward, because I'm loving this game right now. Thanks for watching. I've been Maxwell. This has been Elite Dangerous Standard Beta, and I will catch you guys next time.